Oh, hi there. Thanks so much for showing up for your learning and for your students' learning. I really appreciate all the great work you're doing to have a positive impact on classes here at CCI. This lesson is going to be a big part of that, and this lesson should hopefully answer the question of what am I going to do for my lesson plan project, Mr. Jennings? Like, I'm worried about that. It's a big part of my mark. I'm going to answer those questions here and show you that it's not that complicated. This week, I would encourage you to build your lesson plan and get it back to me. You want to get this to me at least a week before you do your project so that I get a chance to give you feedback and help you make some improvements before you go live in front of real students. But this week we're going to have some time to work on that. You're going to want to know like when you're presenting. This you cannot worry about. Like what the unit and what the topic are things that you choose with your associate teacher. And that's to maximize your impact on the students and to make sure that it's a good use of class time and all of those things, okay? And so there we go. So unit topic, you could say that's the subject of the lesson here as well. Same thing, okay? Another thing that you're going to want to do is note if you're going to need any aids. Maybe you're going to make some slides for a presentation. Maybe you're going to bring in some like toys of some kind, manipulatives or something like to demonstrate, like demonstration materials. Maybe you need weights. I don't know how to spell, apparently. Whatever you need, just make sure that you know what that is and have a good list. And this can also actually brainstorming this can help you be a little bit creative with the things that you bring to the lesson. Okay, and then once you have all this in mind, then you're going to just create a brief outline of your lesson. What are you going to do? What are the steps that you're going to use? And here are the things that your lesson should have. It should have, number one, a beginning. Number two, a middle. And not to give too much away, but your lesson should also end at some point. So these are the 3 steps. And then, let's see, what are we looking for in the 3 steps, Mr. Jennings? Because that actually added precisely 0 value. I already knew that things had beginnings, middle, and ends. Okay, you're going to plan for the beginning, you're going to plan for the middle, and you're going to plan for the end. That's the point, okay, of dividing it up. Okay, and here's the things that you want to do at the beginning. You want to get their attention. And you can get their attention in a variety of ways. One thing that you can do is connect the value of learning to their lives. That way, students are like, I want to learn that thing. It could be I want to learn it because it's on a test, or I want to learn it because it's going to help me save money in the future, or I want to learn that because I will look very cool if I have this knowledge that you're about to share. You know your students, and you know it's going to motivate them. All right. Another thing that the beginning of the lesson should do is clearly state the learning goals. And success criteria. Okay? That's something that regardless of what you're teaching, you want students to know. You want students to know what they're going to be learning and how to measure their success. So think about putting that into student-friendly language, workshopping that kind of statement or presentation with your associate teacher is a very strong move because they have experience with this, so lean on them. They also want you to succeed. They want you to use the class time really well and have a great impact. So get some help from them to build this statement very clear. Put it on the board, say it verbally, get the students to say it back to you is a really useful thing. So all right, everyone, what are we learning today? Mr. Jennings, today we're learning to do a lesson plan. Very good, students. Excellent work. Oh, great. I'm glad that we had some interactivity in this snow day lesson. That's beautiful. All right. Next, in the middle of the lesson, This is where you might have a brief presentation. I'm going to put question mark. You might demonstrate certain things. Okay, but try and do this less. All right, less showing and more trying with the students, okay? Maybe more on the activity side. On the guided practice. You're going to think about what you want students doing during the lesson so they can achieve the learning goals and demonstrate the success criteria. Okay? And so you plan for that. You plan for that in the middle. Okay? This is going to be pretty similar whether you're working one-on-one with a student, and this is a one-on-one presentation, whether you're working with a small group or working with the whole class. Okay? You want to get that person or that group of students' attention, you want to show them value, and you want them to know what they're going to be learning. Okay? The middle is going to be where it's very different. If you're working whole group, maybe you're doing a slides presentation and there's a handout that the students are doing some try me examples along with you. Maybe the students are asked to take a note. You know, these types of things could be very different. If you're working in a phys ed class, it might be hold the volleyball this way, everybody. Like, I don't know what that's going to look like because you're all in such different placements. So this is a chance for you to show your creativity and use your imagination to imagine the best possible learning experience for those students that you're working with. And I believe in you. You can do it. Okay, and then at the end, here you're going to answer this question, right? Like, how well did I do? How well do students do now? You know, you might do some assessing of their learning to see how well they did. Okay, and that can feed into any assessment that you have down here. Maybe you're going to use a checklist and you're going to move around the classroom with your checklist. Can you add the fractions, Billy? Check yes or no. Can you pick up the kettlebell safely, Sally Sue? Check yes or no. All right. Maybe you have a rubric. All right. Some way that you can say, I think that you're working at a level 4 today. That's very good, Samuel. Oh, you're working at a level 2. Here are some next steps for you, Annabelle Lee. I'm struggling to create random names, but you get some ideas, right? So here you might think about how. How are you going to assess? Generally, this will happen at the end of your lesson as a kind of take a look at how we did. Maybe you even have a little exit ticket, a little try me problem that the students can do. Maybe they can give you feedback on the lesson as well. I learned well from this section. I think you could maybe ask them for 3 stars and a wish or something. I liked your smile. I liked the work on the board behind you, Mr. Jennings. But really, I can't stand your voice. Change that. You know, ask for some feedback that you can use to improve. Okay, these are things that you can use to assess. If you build something like that for students, take it and mark it. Give the students constructive feedback about next steps in their learning. Show that to your associate teacher and say, these are things I'm doing to have an impact in your classroom. I believe your associate teacher will be very pleased and give you excellent feedback in the form of high marks, which is why we're all here, right? To get high marks in our classes. No, it's to have an impact at CCI and to grow as leaders, of course. But that's something that you could do to have an impact, to grow as a leader, and to get some great marks. Okay? So these are kinds of things that you can use to fill in that lesson and do a great job. If you have questions about this, I hope you have questions about this, hit me up by email. Ask me in the halls. Track me down and hit me up with your questions. I'm happy to support you as you support our students. Otherwise, thanks so much for showing up for your learning on this icy snow day, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye for now.